Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome everyone out to Mittens Main Street Pub for this installment of the Eagle Lunch Hour. First up on the show will be senior defensive end Trevor Robinson of the football team. Central Methodist is coming off a 23-20 loss at Lindenwood Belleville, but Trevor was named the Heart of America Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week for forcing 2.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss, 11 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. We're getting ready to look at his forced fumble and fumble recovery that halted the Lynx' first scoring drive in the first quarter. Trevor, talk a little bit about the play and what involved.
Bauer got time. Bauer loses it though. Back here, across the middle, headed out by CMU. Good from the Eagle.
We knew that we had a young offensive line.
Watson.
We knew that pretty much
battling with Hamill, and Hamill wins that battle.
The whole game, and I think this is probably the second time that we called it this year, or the first game. And I didn't realize that the running back was coming out of the coverage, and it just
Bauer hustles over.
And I just saw the quarterback, and it was just open. But that's a huge credit to Andy for actually opening up the play for me, and definitely without him.
Now in the middle.
You won the Heart of America Athletic Conference Defensive Player of the Week for the first time in your career. Talk a little bit about winning that award and what that meant for you and your team.
It meant a lot. It definitely was a credit to all the hard work that I tried to put in throughout the summers. Definitely want to credit that to my training partners back home, and definitely my family. They put on a lot of support of me. They always had my back every single summer, and even though it was like I might screw up once or twice, but my routine during the summer is pretty standard as far as getting up, training, running, and then training some more, and resting. But everything that I've done has been geared up to win games, lose for my team, and hopefully this year making other teammates better around me. And that is definitely something that I have tried to strive for, is trying to make not just myself better, but my other teammates around me better.
Running back Bert Yosefa opened the second half with a 46-yard touchdown run, giving Eagles the lead 13-7. How do you think that lifted the defense?
It elevated the defense because we went into the second half. We went into the second half tied, and we thought it should have been that way. We thought we should have been up a couple more, and just to have him come out. We knew that he was going to come. They always come out strong in the second half. We pretty much, it was already known that he was going to make a touchdown, and they were driving. So we popped it off. It was already known that we were going to do something out of it. So it definitely took a little pressure off of us, but at the same time, it's like as a defense, we need to possibly stay tight, tension needs to be high and everything like that, and keep it 0-0 as far as our mentality, and not get complacent. That's probably the biggest thing right now.
You have 23 career sacks in only 3 years on the varsity team, and you're 2 away from tying Justin Wisdom's single career school record of 25, 3 away from breaking it. What do you think that honor would mean to you to have the sack record?
It's definitely reiterating what I've said before. Just a credit to everybody back home, everybody here. Coach Baker, Coach Ford, I mean, their guidance has definitely helped me become the person I am today. And for sure, there's a huge difference between when I first got here and right now, as far as my social skills, me being a better teammate, me being a better leader, me being just better in general. I couldn't thank them enough for what they've done for me, and not only would it be a credit to everybody back home, but definitely a credit to their teaching and their guidance throughout my entire career.
Coach, Central Methodist is coming off a 23-20 loss at Lindenwood Belleville. It was pretty much a flag fest, especially in the first half and at key opportunities in the game. First, your thoughts about the game, and then your thoughts about some of the calls and how they affected the game.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, if we're going to be a conference champion at some point, I don't care what the calls are or what happens. I mean, you know, you question the calls and the different things. Good teams overcome those calls. And I'm never going to blame a game on the referees. I don't think anybody should. I don't think this game should be blamed on the referees. I thought we went in, we didn't play well, you know, and it didn't work out for us. It was one of those days where the ball didn't bounce in our favor and things didn't go our way. But at the same time, good teams overcome those. I will say I was very proud of my team at the end, and that you know, we're 10 points down with 7 minutes to go, and a lot of guys would have packed it in, especially after the day we were having, and said, let's just get on the bus and go home. Those kids put us in a position to win the game and come back and tie the game and possibly win it at the very end of the game, being 10 points down with 7 minutes left. So I was really proud of those kids and how they fought back and how they battled, and that's a tribute to them. And it doesn't change anything this week, and they're going to have to fight and scratch for everything they get this week, and I know they will.
Towards the end of the first half, Central Methodist was trailing 7-0, but recovered a muff punt at the 30-yard line of Linden with Belleville. Talk a little bit about how that play lifted your team and what you saw on the play and what happened.
Well, with the way everything was going, that was a huge play because it allowed us to be tied at halftime at 7-7. I mean, we were lucky we weren't down by 2 or 3 scores by that point. And I tell you, Eric Rose having a great year for us as a punter. He's definitely one of our most valuable players as a punter on our team because he's just hitting some bombs. And he kicked the ball very well on Saturday. And the punts that he's hitting, they're very tough to field because they're really high and dropping out of the sky. And the kid had a tough time with it. And fortunately, Logan Hicks was right there to recover it and got the ball back. And Skylar dropped back and passed and found an opening to run, broke a couple tackles, made a great run, and scored the touchdown, and capped it off with an extra point, put us at 7-7 at halftime. So that was a huge play to get us some momentum going at halftime, especially after the way we had been playing. And we were very fortunate going at that point at 7-7, and then we're looking to come out and get going in the second half.
Skylar Jamison, who's making his first career start for the Eagles at quarterback, scored a 30-yard touchdown run after the muff punt. Evaluate his performance in the game and in what areas you thought he played well.
Well, I think the biggest thing is ball security. I mean, we asked our quarterback to make a lot of decisions in terms of, you know, making reads on the defense and then ball security, whether he hands the ball off, whether he keeps it, or whether he pitches it on our triple option. And Skylar, you know, he hasn't played quarterback since high school, and now he's got 2 games of varsity experience. So he continues to improve and get better. He took a lot of shots on Saturday. One of the things he's got to get better about is getting the ball out when he's supposed to get it out. He has a tendency to take it and hold it and holds on to it for too long, and then he gets to take some shots. And our offensive line does a nice job. They can't protect him forever. And he's got to do a better job getting the ball out of his hands so he doesn't take all those hits. Otherwise, we're going to be down to a 4th and 5th quarterback real quick. So Skylar's doing a great job under the circumstances and what he's been asked to do, as has our center. You know, our center, we're playing our second center right now, Max Hotelling, a true freshman. He's done a great job on the offensive line as well. So it's that time of the year where you're starting to get the injuries to mount up, and we're starting to have the injury bug really get after us. And, you know, really our most valuable trainer right now is probably our athletic trainers. And, you know, Wade Welton and Rick Sage, because those guys are taking them up and getting them back out there, and that's kind of where we're at this point in the season.
Running back Burton Yosefa went for over 100 yards in the game. Your evaluation of his play?
It's always consistent. I mean, Burton's always ready to go. He does such a great job in hitting it and going. I mean, he breaks so many tackles, and we didn't block for him real well on Saturday. So, I mean, for him to get what he was able to get on Saturday, it's really a tribute to him. We've got to come back and block better and do a much better job up front and with our skill positions as well. And that's one thing that we'll work on this week and hopefully improve on.
Central Methodist trailed by 10 points with about 7 minutes left to go in the game, as you previously stated, but the Eagles scored a touchdown run from Cleve Perryman to draw them within 3. Then your defense forces a 3 out, keyed by a sack by Nicholas Wiley on 3rd and 3. Shank punt gives the offense the ball at the Lindenwood Belleville 40-yard line with a little under 4 minutes to go. What's going through your mind through that progression?
Going through my mind is, you know, the kids they're finally going to do it, you know, and that's the thing is, like I said, I've never had a team since I've been here that have come from 10 back to 7 minutes and win the game, and I think that's something that we're learning how to do, is how to fight through tough things and fight through adversity and still give ourselves an opportunity to win. And we had our chances there at the end. We just didn't get it done. But I hope our kids realize that really to be able to do that under those circumstances on the road, if they can battle and fight and scratch and claw and get those things going, we can be there in any game that we play against. And we've been close in every game. I mean, the teams that we play, we continue to be close, and we're getting closer. But it's getting to the point where I hope our kids, like myself, are getting tired of close. It's time that we step up and get things done and win these games, and hopefully that'll get going.
Central Methodist travels to 12th ranked Benedictine College on Saturday. It's been since 2009 since Central Methodist pulled off a 45-26 victory at Benedictine. What have you seen from them on film that impresses you, and what do you think will be some of the keys to hopefully stopping them and moving the ball against their defense?
Well, they're just a playoff caliber team. I mean, they're very good. Coach Wilcox does a great job over there. I have so much respect for what Larry's done with this football team there. And his coaching staff. I mean, they're very good. Probably one of the best offensive lines we'll face all year, if not the best. We have our work cut out for us up front, and they do a very good job running the football and pounding the ball. But then they have very good wide receivers on the outside that can get loose and do things as well. And it was like that last year when we played them. I mean, they did a great job of running the ball, and then when they wanted to go deep, they were able to go deep on us. And that's something that we've got to improve on. We've got to get better on the deep ball and keep it in front of us. That really hurt us this past week with the ball going over our head on a couple of plays, and we've got to get better back there. And then we've got some new guys in there. I think, who was it? Chris Porter was out with a hamstring pull, so we brought in true freshman Rashad Daniels. Now Rashad has gotten a concussion, so now we're going into our third corner mode, and Colin Teal's getting ready to step in. So we're playing with our second safety right now in Colton Muir. And granted, those guys are really doing a great job, but it's important that they step up and that our twos and threes, some guys that are having to step up due to injuries, they have to step up and really play well, because we're getting into that point of the season where those guys are really important.
Benedictine's quarterback this season has basically a 5-to-1 touchdown ratio with 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season in 5 games. How do you expect your secondary to basically be able to hold up against a formidable passing game?
Well, I'd like to think they'd hold up very well, but again, unfortunately it's not up to you and me. I mean, they have to go out and make the plays, and that's the thing. We'll coach them and teach them, and my hope is that they'll step up and make big plays on Saturday, because that's what you have to do in big games against teams like this. And if you want to win the big games, you have to make big plays, and we have our share of playmakers, and they certainly have theirs. And that's why you compete. You got to go out and compete, and you got to compete. This conference is a hard conference to play in, and our guys, they're figuring it out. But like I said, we're very close. I hope we're getting to the point where we're tired of being close and we finally do it. But that's where we got to get to.
Larry Wilcox is in his 34th year at Benedictine, whereas you were in your first. What do you think are some of the lessons that you've taken from him? Because I know he's kind of been a major influence on your coaching career and how you do things.
Well, I hope Larry will pass on whoever his doctor is, because I tell you, he's been through a lot, and he keeps coming back, and I think he's a great example for his kids. And you talk about a guy that's had a lot of adversity and been through some things, and again, that's why I really respect Larry. He loves this game, he loves this conference, and loves the teams in this conference, and he's a great competitor, and I have a lot of respect for him. We emailed the other day each other, and I told him I hope one day we can sit down and he can pass some of that knowledge down to me, because he's a great coach, and I have nothing but great respect for Larry Wilcox. He's a good man.
Kickoff on Saturday between Central Methodist and Benedictine will be at Larry Wilcox Stadium. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. What do you think will be the keys to the game?
Well, the keys to the game. Biggest thing is keep the ball in front of us. I think we say this every week now, but we got to keep the ball from going over our head, and that's a major deal. We have to get that done, because they will go deep on us a couple times, as they've done throughout the year on different teams. We also have to do a good job with stopping the run, because they do run the ball very well. So those are 2 major things that we have to get done. Also, we have to get off the field on 3rd down. We haven't been real good with that. We have to get better with that and improve up on that. Offensively, ball security is still the same thing. We did a pretty good job of taking care of the football on Saturday, and I think that's what really kept us in the game, was not turning the football over. This defense that we play, they have the defensive player of the year from last year at defensive end. And he's a very good football player, and really that whole defense is very good. So we've got to do a very good job against our defense and ball security, and doing what we do, and hopefully moving the ball down the field. And then also in the special teams area, they do a great job coming after the punt. Our punt team has to do a great job of protection, and Rowe has to continue to do what he does, along with Ryan Gifford and do a great job there. And then hopefully we'll get old Zeke making some big kicks for us too. So special teams plays a major role, and those are major keys that we have to get done.